I grew up in western Iowa. I grew up in a very small community of about 10,000 people, and I grew up on a farm outside of that small community. So when I tell people where I grew up, it was in the middle of nowhere. It was literally a 2-hour drive to any major airport to get out from that stretch. I did all my, obviously, high school and all that kind of stuff there, and I did undergraduate work at a small Catholic college in eastern Iowa. That's where all my roots are, all my family. But I got influence from my mom and her sisters, and they were all in the healthcare industry. They were all nurses. And they encouraged me to follow my dream, and my dream was to become a physician, the first physician in the family. And I really wanted to train out on the East Coast. So I made my big leap when I finished undergrad, and I went to medical school out at Georgetown in Washington, D.C. And I didn't leave the East Coast after that. I was in D.C. for 4 years at Georgetown. I moved up the highway to Baltimore, and I did all my training at the Johns Hopkins University in Baltimore. I did my internship, my residency. I did a fellowship in oncology with subspecialization in lung cancer, and I did a PhD at the School of Public Health in Baltimore. So while I was working in Baltimore, I was one of the few single folks of the group of people that I hung out with, other physicians and things like that. Most of them had found their match before coming to do their training, and didn't find the right person working at the hospital. So I started looking outside, and I ended up meeting my husband, who is a Canadian. He was doing an international stint for his company, and their international head office was in Delaware. So he and I got set up on a blind date. It was just supposed to be dinner, and here we are. It's going to be 10 years this April, the anniversary of our first date. And in that time, not only have we come together, but I've now moved countries. I've bought a home, taken a new job. We've gotten a dog, 2 children. So it has been a whirlwind of fun. So my interest in becoming a cancer physician actually dates back to medical school. When I first went to medical school, I actually wanted to be a family doctor. That was really what I knew from my exposure to physicians growing up. I used to shadow a particular family doctor in my hometown, and I just thought his connection with patients was such a fantastic thing that I could see myself with that same connection to my patients. But when you're in medical school, they expose you to lots of different other kind of aspects of medicine. And they do that all throughout the 4 years of medical school. So in my second year of medical school, basically all the time was really in books, but they gave us a half a day a week to go and just shadow in one of the medical clinics. And it was completely random as to what medical clinic you were assigned to. And I was assigned to a medical oncology clinic in one of the community hospitals. And to be honest, when I got my assignment, I wasn't happy. I wasn't convinced what I would possibly learn wanting to be a family doctor in this very niche subspecialty. It just wasn't something that I'd ever really thought about. My family has been afflicted with cardiovascular disease. All 4 of my grandparents died of strokes. So if I was going to do any subspecialty, it would have been neurology, I thought. But I will never forget those first couple of weeks rotating in the oncology clinic. The patient interactions were fantastic. You just can't underestimate the connection that gets made when you're the doctor for that, not only that patient, but that family when they're going through the journey that they're going through. It's a very difficult time for anyone, whether it's a journey towards a cure or whether it's a journey towards improving quality of life. So I just thought that was fantastic. This doc had such a close connection with each of those families. But not only that, he exposed me to the science of oncology, and that's where they had me hook, line, and sinker. This was just as the true understanding of the biology of cancer was really coming to the fore, and not just the understanding of the biology, but then pairing it with targeted treatments. I love my job, and I think anybody who knows me would tell you that I love my job. I love the patients, and that's what brought me to medicine in the first place, and that is what will keep me in medicine moving forward. The thought that I can give something to patients or ease their time of burden, which unfortunately is a lot of what I do because I treat lung cancer, which unfortunately doesn't have nearly as high a cure rates as we would like. So that gives me pride in what I do, is just trying to ease that journey for folks.